Happy Monday.
All right, we're live. I'm just waiting to click on my Instagram. Oh, we're talking about, do you need a web designer? Is that what you actually need when you're not happy with your website? Things have changed, you've evolved, you've grown. Maybe you've added new offers, you aren't running offers that are currently there. Maybe you've just gone a whole new direction. Or maybe you never even built a great website. You just kind of threw something up there to have it up there. And the problem is it's not reflecting the amazing work that you're doing in the world. So what do you do about it? Well, I always see people asking and saying, I need a web designer. Does anyone know a web designer? Eric, what's a web designer?
Someone who designs a website.
It's what you used to do, right? Or what you
Well, yeah, it's
started
part of
doing.
what I did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the graphic design element of building a website. So
Mhm.
if you had to strip out a website and break it into components, right? So I would look at, okay, the branding, so logo, colors, imagery, the copy or content, right? So all the copy that goes into a website, who's handling that? If it's you, great. I hope that you have some marketing background if you're doing the copy yourself, so you know that the words that you're going to put on the website are going to actually translate.
Yeah, regular copy and sales copy are two different things.
Yeah, completely different
Yeah.
things. And then you need the design, what it's going to look like. Is it going to look beautiful, right? Well, that's a really talented web designer will make it look easy. I'll put it that way. Because every other website I see, I'm always like, oh wow.
But a web designer is going to do what you tell them. Like they're going to be looking to you for the direction of where you want to go. And I think,
Everything. They're gonna come to you and they're gonna say, "Great, where's your logo?
like,
What's your branding?
yeah,
What's your colors? Where's your images?"
like we had a client, a potential client, come to us and wanted a redo of the website, but then was like, I have these business cards and this price list and this brochure and this banner, and everything looks different. Like some of it's on Canva, and I paid this person on Fiverr, and I had this person, and we're like, where's your brand book? Like, where's your guide that you give people? Oh, I don't have one of those.
So, oh, that's a great idea. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
need.
And the reason why we're doing this video is because most people just don't know, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. But the designer, if you're looking for a web designer, they're going to be looking to you to say, okay, well, what images do you want? What colors? What's your logo? What's the messaging? What's the call to
Yeah.
action? What's the form? Where's this going? Whereas when you hire somebody like us, we take you through the strategy, the branding. We do the copywriting, the design and development, the tech, the opt-ins, the form, the email automation, the front end, the back end, the SEO. There's so many pieces to make a cohesive, great looking, fully functional, sales forward, story building website.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece when people go, oh my God, you're $10,000. I could get a web designer to do it for $2,000. Yes, but you're not comparing apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the key is you have to think about, what are your goals right now? Are you literally in a pinch and you just need to slap something up and get it done? That's a different story.
Yeah.
Or are you looking for growth and longevity, and really having something you're proud of that tells the story of who you are and what you do? I know for me, whenever I'm applying for keynote speeches, or I'm posting something about my show, or I'm reaching out to theaters or sponsors or nonprofits or anyone, they're always asking me, what's your website? And if it wasn't something that I was proud of, like that's something that I'd be like, ooh, I need to change this because so many people are viewing it and it doesn't reflect me.
Yeah.
And lastly, I always equate it to, I was saying before we got on the live, I was saying it's like your house. So we really think about how we function in this house, how we live in this house, when we have people over, how we entertain. And we really think about all the pieces of the strategy and the branding. I guess there's not really copywriting to a house, but the pictures that tell the story. That's what we value. There are some people that just go to secondhand, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes people are like, this coffee table will work, this chair will work, don't care about this picture. They don't care about the function and the flow and the
white
design.
stove and a black fridge.
Yeah. So if you're the type that doesn't care about that, then maybe you just want that web designer. You can say, throw this here, slap this here. I don't care about that. Put that there. But if you really care about the ecosystem of what your website can do for you, then you need more than a web designer. You need someone like us in the team.
My last point on it is, there's like a negativity around websites nowadays for a lot of startup companies. It's like, oh, do I need a website? You hear all this like, you don't even need a website. Why do you have a website? Well, I think it's because if you have a properly done website, it can actually make you a lot more money than you think. And there's this misconception of like, oh, it's just a glorified brochure online. Well, I would say 9 out of 10 times. I don't know about you personally, but for me, it's the first thing I do. If Lisa tells me, oh, hey, I talked to, like, I don't even care who it is. Oh, I talked to this, movement coach, John Louis. And I'm like, who is this? And like the first thing I do, and then I pull up their site and I go, oh, cool. And I make my first judgment off of that experience.
He's the best, but I will say, this is a whole other rabbit hole.
Yes,
I don't want to go down it, but I will say Jean Louis has been around for like 30, 40 years, and he is like known as the best movement coach in the world. So he doesn't necessarily even need, because people say, oh, do I even need a website? No, if you're like well known in your industry and the best of the best, and referrals are just coming left, right, and center, maybe you don't even need to be worrying about that, because you're like this.
That's not true.
This underground,
that's
legend kind of thing. True. But if you're not an underground legend, then yes, you need a website. But you're right, you do. You look at what they got going on, and that's the first thing that kind of tells us. You can tell how a business is doing. I hate to be judgmental, but it's the truth. You can tell how a business is doing by looking at their presence online, because we know that all matters.
Yep.
So, all right. So just wanted to give out that information, because again, a lot of people just don't know that they're asking. If you want more than that, if you want that holistic approach, you don't need a web designer. What you're asking for is something much more like what we offer. So
a marketing team.
Yeah. So if we can help, just shoot us a message, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.